I think I find meaning in a lot of different places. For me, a lot of my earlier life, I found meaning in, I think, the ritual and the routine of um, kind of the rhythms of faith. I was very, you know, my family was very religious. We spent a lot of time in church, probably only a couple days out of the week that we weren't at the church for some reason or another. And so those things filled up my time and therefore were meaningful to me because I was making relationships and making friends and building relationships there. And having grown up and gone through some kind of changes in how I perceive my own faith, even and you know, even asking the question, do I have a faith really that's mine? A lot of where I used to find meaning has kind of splayed out into other parts of life. It's funny, I as entrenched as I was in a very religious upbringing and just overall religious life, I always had a part of me that was just a little bit of a skeptic and a little bit of a I just don't know about all of this. And um, I mean, that certainly really started to exhibit itself when I left home for the first time and I went to college. It was only a couple hours away, and I was at a Christian school, but um, it was still enough of a break, I think, from my traditions and my routines to to start to ask some questions for myself. And I don't think the questions have ever stopped from that moment. So the funny thing, the thing I can't even always fully explain for myself is why I've stayed as engaged with the church as I have over the years. I, with the exception of about the last year, really, there was never a month in my life when I didn't attend church in some way, shape, or form. Probably not even more than a couple weeks. It did open the door, I think, for me to explore other ways to find that purpose and find that meaning. Other reasons to get up in the morning and to keep going to work. And I guess I tend to find meaning more where I'm spending my time, really, because for so much of my life, so much of my time was within the context of a church community, and now it's much less so. So I would still say the music has always been a big part of it, though. There's just something about it that something about music helps me to connect to something that feels other, feels like it's not part of my regular day-to-day life, not part of the things that I can touch and see and taste and hear. It's just it's transportive, I guess. It takes me somewhere else. So I guess relationships are very meaningful to me, and I there's certain things that I look for in other humans as I'm interacting with them and getting to know them and building friendships. Certain things that I look for to get out of that, but also certain things that I look for to give. And I tend to gravitate toward people who, um, I mean, like any of us, you know, share similar um, passions or hobbies or um, just how we spend our free time. But um, I really like finding people who are a little bit of a mess, I guess, just like me, because I feel that way frequently. I feel like I don't have things fully figured out, or I don't have them um, questions about the future and like, what am I going to do with my life when I grow up, as though I'm not already. And so I find meaning in building relationships with people around that kind of uncertainty about what we're doing and who we are and where we're going. I like hanging out with misfits, I guess, and people who just aren't sure of their place yet, but know that they have a place and want to carve it out and want to find it and figure it out. I like that process.